rewind a little bit because you were talking about building values. And I think that's something that I've seen change dramatically for my clients in Maryland, where buildings that were insured for $11 million, as 3 years ago are now being insured for $17 million. It's a huge dramatic increase. So I think there's two things I'd like to get your input on. It would be first, what percentage of new clients that you talk to are drastically underinsured on their property insurance? And two, how much have you seen property values increase over the last couple of years?
We find that a lot of people don't really pay attention to the replacement values. And we do find underinsured properties. It's important to keep up with that. And it's important that you have a company or an agent who understands how to run replacement cost estimators, periodically looking at those, reviewing that information, and updating that information. A shingle roof cost is way different than a metal roof cost. And somebody, I get that conversation all the time. Well, yeah, we updated our roof. Well, did you go from shingles to shingle, or did you go from shingle to metal? Well, we went from shingle to metal. Well, the valuation of that is different. And especially on a large school building, that can have a huge impact. And so just understanding changes in a year-to-year basis can also impact the replacement value. And so those things are important to keep up with, and it's important for the agent to be aware of that, and to have those conversations. Building replacement cost, over the last 5 years pre-pandemic, we're up, 50+% in certain areas. It just depends. It really does depend on what type of building you have, and where you are, what market you're in, and market as in what, zip code you're in. That has an impact as well. That affects everything from materials to labor, et cetera. And so we've seen that, and we've seen that it's hard to have those conversations sometimes where you go, yeah, it went up 15% last year, but it went up another 25% this year. That is affected by all kinds of things in the market and material costs. Now, everybody thinks of claims. That's easy to talk about because a claim impacts premium. That kind of makes sense to people. But people forget that the metal roof costs twice as much as it did 10 years ago to be installed and put